Well, hello.
Hey.
Welcome to or back to the Cookout Chronicles podcast.
It's your favorite cousins on your mama's side. I'm Zaria.
And I'm Lamont, and welcome to another one. That's like gonna be part of our thing now.
Well, yes.
I like that. We're gonna add that to the intro sequence, y'all. But hey y'all, it's been a minute for us.
Yes.
At least y'all just heard us last Sunday, but we're back.
We're back.
Hey, how's it going? Quick housekeeping as usual. Make sure to follow all of our socials at Cookout Chronicles Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We also have a submission link, so send us any topics you want us to know or anything you want your favorite cousins to know. So, yeah. Me and Zaria just sat here for like 20 minutes and caught up already.
Yes,
but we're
did.
gonna
Yes, we did.
we are gonna recap again. So yeah. Anything else we need to get out there? I think that's it. It's getting quicker and quicker every time. Period. Welcome to episode 6. What's going on, Z?
Oh, nothing. I just got back from last Sunday I got back from my trip to Mississippi for my grandmother. Oh my goodness, she was so happy.
Yes, I have to hear all about the trip.
Happy, like it was a very short trip though.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't get to like really visit and sit with her the way we wanted to. But yeah, she was really excited.
Yeah.
She oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. But the first day that we got there, we were all sitting in her living room and we were asking her, we were like, Grandma, so who spilled the beans? Who told you that you were having because it was supposed to be a surprise.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Is this supposed to be like a surprise or like
First
what?
First of all, every time we try to have a surprise in our family, it don't never work out as a surprise. It never works out.
You know, Black people can't hold water.
We can't hold water.
Can't hold water.
We can't hold no type of water. So my cousin was like, Grandma, who told you? Who told you that you were having a party? She was like, well, nobody told me. I guess she was eavesdropping and heard. And I'm like, now sometimes you be like, huh, what you say?
Right.
Yeah, you hear what you want to hear, but no.
Old people do that on purpose. I can't wait till I get old so I can start doing shit like that.
Well, yes, no, oh my god,
just crazy stuff.
Y'all, she looks so pretty. We have a very cute picture together.
Yes, you have to show me.
Yes, everybody was like trying to get pictures with her, of course, and I was like, I need a picture of my grandma for real.
Yeah. Everybody out the way.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get a solo shot.
Look, I was gonna get my solo shot, whether they liked it or not. It was so cute. I held her hand. She's so sweet. My grandma has so much life.
Yeah.
Like, and so much wisdom. It's so amazing to see somebody who has lived so much life and is able to still be in their right mind.
Yeah.
Who is able to still, you know, effectively communicate with their family.
Right.
Who still has so much personality. My grandma is a 95-year-old woman.
I'm gonna say at 95, that's amazing.
Exactly.
That's
a
amazing.
95-year-old woman in the deep South. She is in Mississippi. She is in the Delta of Mississippi. Someone who she was literally telling us stories of her having to still pick cotton. You know.
Oh my God,
They weren't slaves.
Right,
but,
right.
You know, her and her siblings were still having to go out and work as children, still picking cotton.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something that a lot of us take for granted. Like, you know, a lot of times we'll be like, oh, I am not my ancestors. I'm not. And I understand, like, you know, that it was meant as a joke, but it's like, we ain't as strong as them.
Right.
We, you know, I'm not to say that we haven't endured anything.
Right.
Not to say that we haven't gone through anything. Not to say that things aren't hard for us, but I'm trying to imagine what I would be like back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What life would be like for me. And to, you know, start a family as young as she did, she birthed 10 kids. She lost 2 of them. So to raise 8 children.
Right.
To raise other people's children. And they not even have the decency to call her Miss Davis or Miss Burt. They call her by her first name so disrespectfully. Which I tell her all the time, I don't like that.
Right. Especially like in the South too. That's like a
right. But my grandma has been through a lot, and she don't look like what she's been through.
I know that's right.
She don't look
hey,
like what
I need her secret.
Okay. So yes, I was very honored.
Yeah.
I was very honored to be able to go down there and celebrate her. My hip is a little.
Y'all, another episode. She coming on here saying she hurt.
Okay,
What? So what
no.
happened this
Okay, so
time?
I did a praise dance for her.
You okay?
Yes, I
Yes.
did a
I saw
praise
that on
dance for her.
your story.
I have praise danced my whole life, like from I want to say elementary to high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
I ain't did this in 6 years, so getting back into it, and I was moving really
Oh
hard and
yeah.
really in.
Yeah. It takes a lot out of
Yeah.
you. It's like it's very like yeah. You putting like your whole body into it. So
Okay,
yeah.
and I'm sore. My hip, I feel like I pulled something in my hip. It hurts really, really bad.
Yeah.
But
Probably.
I will say that the pain was worth it.
Oh
She
yeah.
was very happy. She was
Oh.
so excited.
Yeah.
And also, like, for me, just doing it in general, the work was hard, but performing it was very freeing. And it really, um, if you guys have never heard My Testimony by Marvin Sapp, that is one song that will tear me up every single time because I have been through a lot. And yes, I am still here.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm
Yes.
and it was very perfect for her. 95 years. You ain't got to 95 years perfectly. Everything wasn't sunshine and rainbows for 95 years.
Right.
But you made it to 95 years.
95. A lot. Yeah. A lot of people can't say 95.
You made it to you.
Oh my goodness.
You have gotten to see grandchildren,
Yes.
great grandchildren,
Yes.
and now she has great great grandchildren.
Yeah.
So you've been able to see all of that, and you've been able to reap what you sowed into people. So I'm
multiple
hurting.
generations.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm hurting, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that. I love it. Well, my week, honestly, I was gonna say uneventful, but I say that
Every week.
every week. Let me think hard. What did I do this week? Oh, I mentioned in last week's episode that, or maybe the week before, I can't remember. They went back to back, so who knows? In one of our previous episodes, I was saying that I had opened up to the dating scene again, at least a little bit. No luck. But what do you expect? I mean, the gay culture in Wichita, Kansas, it's very slim to none.
Well, yes.
I was talking to this dude for like 2 days, and he ghosted me.
Oh, well.
So if that tells you anything about how gay culture here is in the Midwest, but yeah. Other than that, I've just once again been work. This week actually was a really good week. I got a lot of stuff done at work. Can't talk today. It's fine. I can never talk. Today I was telling Zara a little bit about it before we hit record, that we had a ribbon cutting ceremony at the gym that I manage. So that was a lot of fun. It was really good for like exposure, and yeah, it was a good time. Crystal, my boss, shout out to you, girl. She listens every episode. It was actually your boss at one point too.
Well, yes.
When you worked at her daycare. Yes. Mama Crystal is what we call her.
Well, yes.
She had a lot of kind words to say about me and our regional manager, Chloe. And yeah, it was a good time. What else happened this week for me? I think that's it. Hey, work. Y'all know what it's a trend at this point. But yeah, with the weather getting warmer, I was just telling Z again, my seasonal depression is gone. Sorry, y'all. That was loud.
I'm free, y'all. I am free.
I'm so sorry, y'all. That was very loud. But yeah, we have our good friend Maya's birthday tomorrow. Of course it'll be past when y'all have seen this. But yes, very excited about that. I keep joking with everybody. It's the season premiere.
Y'all.
All cast event. So yeah, I'm just excited for the weeks leading up, to all of our trips and stuff like that. I paid off my Beyonce ticket.
Yes, roar!
Praise God, praise God.
Mine is pending.
Well, I honestly didn't even like plan on like paying it off. I was just like, if y'all didn't know, we're going to Cowboy Carter in May. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had accidentally sent Erica, when she had asked for a certain amount of money, the price. I thought that she was saying like that was like our portion for the hotel.
Yeah.
So then when I got paid, I was trying to like redo my budget and be like, okay, how much?
Let me just go ahead and send this.
Right. I was like, how much should I put like in my savings, and like what needs to go where? Basically, I do this every pay period. And I was asking her like, hey, like how much do I owe on the ticket, like whatever.
Right.
And she was like, well, actually, you just paid for April, so now like you're good. And then I paid her again when I got paid the other day. So I was like, oh, okay, so now I'm ahead 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
So she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, well, like you might as well just keep that money then, because like I was gonna plan on paying it
Yeah.
anyway. And I was like, well, wait, how much is left on it? Because I thought that our payments were done in July. So I was like, if I just have one more payment, I'm just gonna send it
Then that's
now
it,
and
yeah.
just get it done. And I sent it, and she was like, well, actually, no, our last payment is in August. And I said, oh, okay. And I sent the rest of
Well,
it.
here you go.
I was like, just take it. She was like, damn, you balling. I was like, not
I
really.
just really want to get this off my hands. That's why I said, yeah, let me go ahead and send this today.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I'm gonna spend that. And
Yeah.
which I forgot, but I sent it yesterday, and I
Mhm.
was like, yeah, go ahead. As soon as I
Yeah.
woke up, I said, yeah, go ahead, girl. Take that.
Yeah.
Because I can't do this.
And I told her my commission check was very nice this past month.
Yes, right.
March was a good month. It's my birthday month, so of course it was. And April's gonna be even better.
Ooh.
Putting that out there into the universe now.
But
yeah, because I was already telling her like, yeah, like we have like a lot of members. Like my commission's gonna be really good. We hit all of our goals this month, so I'm gonna have a cute little check.
Yeah,
and I was like, you might as well just take it. So now I don't even have to worry about it.
Yep.
Take that out of my budget. Now I can put that money towards something else too. Our other trips. Put that into the Chicago spending account.
No, swearsies.
Budget been tight. Budget been tight.
After I get the outfits to be in Chicago,
right?
Nobody talk to me. I don't. No money is going
no.
towards nothing
No.
but food and clubs.
Yeah.
Food and clubs. That's all I got money for. Once I pay, because I'm gonna pay for the hotels as a lump sum. I'm not. Take that.
Yeah, take it. Get it off my plate. Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Once that's over, I don't want to hear nobody ask me to go nowhere. Don't say let's go do this. I don't have nothing for you. It's gonna be ramen noodles. Chicago.
Bowls of ice and water for me, because I'm doing a little calorie deficit. Oh, I guess that's another thing that happened this week. I really have honed in on my calorie deficit these last couple weeks. And I was also telling Erica when we were doing our Sunday little stretch, once you get over the feeling of your stomach doing somersaults, you kind of just get used to just being hungry.
Oh.
Because I'm trying to get this stomach flat, y'all. Really. And honestly, I've been doing it I really honed it on the last couple weeks, but I've really been doing it with being like calorie conscious since February. And I've seen good results. Yeah. So it's working. So that's another thing that I've been doing. I've been hitting the gym, y'all. Hitting the gym. I'll be fighting demons, getting out that bed. But anyway, yeah. Oh my God. And every time I say take a shot. I was just telling Z again. Last thing, y'all. We'll get into the mess. I say so many goddamn times.
And that's okay.
I don't even, it just flies off the tongue. I'm just like
when you're thinking, you're like,
yeah, and I'm trying to get like my thoughts together and not sound like an idiot on camera. So I almost said it again. So yeah, a little drinking game for y'all at home. Take a shot every time I say
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into
it.
Oh my God. Every time I look at this, hold on. Thank you. We gotta get serious for a minute, y'all. We gotta get serious.
Y'all.
I don't even know what time we're at. Oh, also, oh my God, the biggest thing. I got a new computer, y'all.
Yes.
I did get a new computer.
A little better?
Yeah, if we do sound a little better, that's probably why. Yeah, I got the new MacBook Air. There it goes. But yeah, it was time for me to get a new one. I've been wanting one for about almost a year now since I graduated college. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it because I was so sick of editing the show and me not having space, me having to have all these freaking jump drives and stuff, which I still do have, obviously. But yeah, it was time. So I did get a new computer. So I don't know how we're doing on time. I don't know what I'm looking at on GarageBand.
What does that say?
I think that's our frequency set. We'll wing it.
We'll know. We'll know when we need to stop.
Yeah, I did make a big financial investment. I did put it on that Best Buy credit card, of course.
Well, yeah.
And yeah, I love it. I had a MacBook way back in the local Blacks days, but we didn't do video. It was just audio, so it was a lot easier. So we're gonna see how iMovie and stuff works with video, and yeah, so that's probably the highlight of my week is getting a new computer. I don't know how I forgot about that, but yeah, let's get into it. So what a lot of people have been talking about this week is this murder of this teenager, right? And I do have notes. I did do some research this time. So this kid was killed in North Texas and fatally stabbed. Yes, fatally stabbed. It was an opposing team over a seating dispute. That's all the information we kind of had at first. Now there's a lot more stuff coming out about
Yep.
both sides,
About both
really,
sides, yes.
not just about the victim or the other guy. So yeah, it's so crazy, like how people find out this stuff, like about these twins and this boy that was there. But yeah, if y'all haven't heard, a kid was stabbed at a track meet. It's always these track
It's
meets.
always a track
It's
meet.
always
I
these
see.
track meets. So yeah, so the notes that I have, yeah, 17-year-old boy in North Texas fatally stabbed another teen that was in an opposing team over a seating dispute. His twin brother tried to help him, and his brother died in his arms. That is so sad. Oh my god. Um, so now over probably more now. I'd probably guess maybe around $300,000 has been raised for the teen that stabbed him. And now people are saying that these kids are trying to bully the guy that had the knife and stabbed the other teen. So, yeah, I don't know names or nothing like that. So bear with us unless you
Right.
do. But black on white crime, basically white on black, however you want to chop it up.
Right.
It was a black guy that stabbed the white guy. So that's kind of how it started. And once again, now we're hearing a lot more
Details.
information and details about everybody involved. So, and we got to talk about it, y'all, because that is so crazy. I was thinking today while I was like going over the topics and stuff for tonight, were we this crazy when we were teenagers? Because I feel like every generation is like, these kids these days are just crazy. We was never wilding at that age, and now it's us.
Honestly, I cannot say that we were not. I mean, me personally, I wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like as a whole.
Absolutely, we were.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it started in middle school. There would be things happening in middle school that I'm like, what's happening? We don't even get down like that.
Yeah, but like, I think it was little like it was like fights or like maybe somebody getting jumped in the bathroom or somebody caught smoking weed or something. But stabbing another person.
Well, yeah,
at a high school track meet,
they really weren't doing all of that.
Like, that's crazy.
But
if the opportunity presented itself, it could have happened. It would have happened.
Here's what I will say: if it is true that they were trying to jump him, you cannot tell anyone how to react to.
Oh, absolutely not.
Being jumped.
No, self-defense, baby, all the way,
all the way,
all the way.
Because you don't know how bad they would have beat him,
right?
You know, if he would have just
he was ready to defend himself. And these are like, y'all, these are like big, like white Texas boys. These aren't little like the black kid. He's very maybe 100 pounds. Soaking wet with rain boots on.
Right.
These are like big. Like, these are football players, like big, chunky white boys. And that, yeah, I'm pulling out a knife too, and I'm
baby, you got to
6'3",
go. It's me or you.
210.
Either you gonna put me in a hospital or my grave, or I'm gonna put you in a hospital or your grave. Somebody's got to go.
Yeah.
So
it's literally life or death at that point. So I completely understand and all that. But of course now people are asking like, well, why did he have a knife on him in the first place?
Why does that matter?
Which it shouldn't. I get where they're coming from. Also, it's just like, if they didn't try to bully this kid and try to jump, he wouldn't have to pull out the knife. It would have never been pulled out
in the first place.
And once again, going back, he is a very like scrawny, small kid.
Right.
I'm sure this isn't the first bullies he's encountered. I'm what I'm hearing with the research and stuff, it sounds like this kid probably gets picked on a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no kid that's not getting picked on is not like equipping a knife or having a knife on him at all times. I thought that's just not necessary.
Right.
But I don't. It's a lot.
I think we should read the
screenshot that I have it on. Yeah, if you want to read it, go for it. Okay. Yeah, I was just going to get into it.
This screenshot comes from a person named Tyriana Barber. I hope I did. I'm sure that's how you say it though, because that's not what it's looking like. I'm not sure who they were in relation to the guy who stabbed the other guy. But, so she posted this and she says, number one, it's normal for students from different schools to gather under another school's tent. Carmelo had friends there. He wasn't trespassing or looking for trouble. So Carmelo is the guy who did the stabbing.
Right.
Number two, the claim that one of the twins had never seen Carmelo before, a blatant lie. 3, no student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent, which is true. The school owns the tent, not the twins. For Carmela
Very
is a
fair.
right. For Carmela is a track athlete. The twins are not. He wasn't even expecting to see them there. Now, here's what they don't want you to know. The twins didn't jump, just ask him to leave. They tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on it. And then the twins are known bullies. So ask yourself, if two 200 plus pound attackers came
Yep.
at your child,
Yep.
what would you expect them to do?
Yeah.
Hey,
Sums it all up, basically.
hey, I'm not here to say what happened because this is my phone.
I was like, why you? I was like, what?
I'm not here to say what happened.
Because we weren't there,
because I
obviously.
wasn't there. But I did see an interview of the twin that is still left living, and he did. I have to go back and watch it, but I'm sure he alluded to the fact that what was said in that post was what happened.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's really why a lot of people really got to looking into it.
Yeah.
Because of
as you
that,
should, yeah.
Right. Because of the interview that the twin did, because they were like, hold on, well, that doesn't sound right. Or if y'all were if y'all were getting in a fight with him, then yeah, that's what happens. If you two were the aggressors in the situation, then yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Okay. Like you don't know what these kids got. Now you know. I know the twin, and this is a hard pill for him to swallow, I'm sure. But now you know.
Now you know, like
not because you didn't lost your twin brother. So now you really need to be like, okay, exactly. There's people that I can mess with, which should be nobody,
right?
But now you know.
And here's the thing, and I will say this: a lot of time the other half, the palm color people, they expect to be able to do things to people without anyone saying anything, without retaliation, because they have that privilege of getting away with it a lot.
Yeah.
And you F around, you find out.
Yep.
A lot when y'all find out, y'all get very much appalled, shocked, scared, and I'm like, didn't you start this?
It's what you wanted.
Right. Isn't it? But
it's what you wanted.
They are very much used to walking through life, being able to do what they want, essentially. Yeah. This is something that we live all the time. We see it all the time, which is why we have the term white woman tears, because you have seen when they do something and then they get called out, and then now everybody wants you to
the Karen episodes, the meltdowns, so that's why Bath and Body Works.
That's why we have what we have when. So. Yeah, you can go on national news and talk about, that you lost your brother.
It's sad.
I hate it for you. But at the same time, let's talk about how we got here, because if y'all would have minded y'all business, which y'all tend to not do, if y'all would have minded y'all business in the first place, maybe he'd still be here. Just saying. And I'm like I said, I'm not here to say what happened or not. But if that's what happened, learn how to mind your business.
Yeah, fair point. Honestly, nothing that I was gonna add. There was one point. I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, Z.
Okay, I got you.
Does this seem like, because especially like with high schools, like with like high school rivalries and stuff, with Kansas, I don't feel like there's like, of course, like rivalries and stuff like that. Right. But I fear with Texas, it's a lot. They take like their school rivalries and stuff like that very seriously, because that's South. I mean, no matter how you look at it. And I feel like down south with like sport culture and stuff like that, like those rivalries kind of get like hyped up a little more.
Yes.
And I don't know, like, well, I know the answer to that. It wasn't worth it. I was going to say, well, is it really worth it? I know it's not worth it.
Right.
Duh. But I don't know, like, I fear these kids, sports is everything to them.
Yes.
Do we think this is something that's like, let me figure out how I want to phrase this for y'all. Sporting rivalry gone bad? Do we think? Well, of course, there's also like the underlying racism and things of that nature.
Right.
But it's something something so silly, something very, very silly.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it's like a sports rivalry type of thing.
Right.
Because like they said, they're not track runners.
That's true. Yeah. Why are you hanging out in a track tent?
Like, why are you worried about why he's here?
Right.
Like,
but also a lot of times I fear, because Deron used to run track, and our cousin, they would have like track meets and other like
Mhm.
teams, like people that know these runners would go to their tents and hey,
Right,
even if
right,
they
right.
don't run track or not on the track team, like the football players would go say hi and stuff like that. So, because that first point, I was like, I kind of have to disagree with that one,
Mhm.
just a tad bit, because I feel like that's very common,
Mhm.
especially in high school. People they just go, students and coaches probably don't care, like, oh, that's just Jimmy from the baseball
Right.
team
Which
coming to
is
see his friend, which I don't think is wrong, but it's
right.
also if you're doing all that, you gotta learn how to act
Right.
and behave.
But I think here's the thing that I will say about that. I don't necessarily say that like her point was wrong. I think it it depends on how you interpret it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think this is what I think she's saying. She's
Mm-hmm.
saying you are not a track. It doesn't matter if you can be there all you want, but you're not a person who is a part of the sport who's participating in the meet,
Right.
nor are you staff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
regardless of if you are there or not,
Mm-hmm.
more people should be asking you why you're there than you should be asking
Yep.
him
Yep. Trying to
why
kick out
he's
a
there.
student where he's where he needs to be.
He's
You're the
where
one
you're the
outside it.
one who's not
Yep.
where you need to be.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't think the issue is necessarily um
Sport
rivalry.
rivalry, yeah, and like teams and stuff,
I
yeah.
don't think the issue is necessarily rivalry. I think the issue is that two people who saw somebody,
Mm-hmm.
black boy, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they wouldn't have done this
Mm-hmm.
to a white boy, and we know Texas.
Yeah.
Texas has
We
a
know
woo.
Texas.
Okay, I think that the real issue here is two people who went and tried to play hero, bad cop, good. You know what I'm saying? Who
Yeah.
tries to play in a role that they definitely should have been playing in because y'all kids just like he is.
Yeah.
What makes you think that you have any authority over him?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever way he would have reacted now, if he would have just stabbed them without any physical contact or you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, oh, you was kind of tripping. You should have went. But if two people are trying to fight you,
Yeah.
then
Jump you.
yeah, baby, you
Yeah. It's 2-on-1. That's
yeah,
a crazy
yeah,
scenario.
that's
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I was just thinking because, like I said, with sports and like sometimes team rivalries can get out of
yep,
hand,
it
and
can.
even like when I was in high school, I remember like a little bit of that. Even people that didn't play sports, like if you talk about somebody from another school, it's oh my
Oh my
god, that school
gosh.
is so
Yep.
ghetto. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? That's how shit gets started. That's how fights start and the social media stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah, I just thought I'd bring up that point because that was something else that I saw on Twitter too.
Mhm.
Like it's just high school boys going at it with team rivalry. And I'm like,
I
it's a
don't
little bit
know.
more deeper than that.
Right.
That's
It's
very surface, but
yeah.
it goes a little bit
Deeper
deeper.
than that, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Another point I was going to talk about with this: take away the TVs. No, our parents are right. It's those phones.
It's those phones.
It's those phones because I just don't. Like I said, going back to the first point, I don't remember us being this wild. Like we was wild in middle school and high. Well, y'all was not me. We as a collective, not we sitting here.
Right.
We wasn't that. We wasn't that crazy.
Mm.
It's baddies.
Right.
Take baddies away.
Right. I really, but
joking, y'all. Obviously.
I think too. A lot of people, and honestly, there's always been a glorification of certain things.
Oh right, yeah.
But what I don't want to do is to kind of make his situation that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course,
because I don't feel like that's what that was.
Not at all.
Because
Not at
you
all.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
For your point,
that's kind of going to another section.
But for your
of
point,
just kids wilding. But
yes, there are everybody. Kids are exposed to way too much now. I feel like when we were younger, their social media was new. Was brand new.
It's only up.
And people really wasn't just beefing like that on MySpace. There really wasn't much to do on the MySpace. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't much to do.
Right.
But when you add in Facebook and then you get the Instagram and then the Snapchat
and the
TikTok, and the Twitter and so it's very everything is so accessible now.
Yeah.
Everything is so accessible.
Yeah.
And honestly, we have too many. I'm sorry for the parents out there, but I'm just gonna say something really quick. Stop giving your kids iPads, phones, and certain things, and not ever going through them.
Right.
And just handing it to them.
Parental controls, boo.
Yeah, put them on there for real.
Yeah.
TikTok is no longer a child's app. Your child shouldn't have a TikTok that you are not going through anymore. Right. You need to see what's on that For You page.
Yep.
Even YouTube, you need to put some parental controls on that thing. If you're
because they are in there.
Exactly.
Like you can give these kids, the iPads and stuff, because sometimes it does help with like learning disabilities and stuff like that. But then you need to lock it up.
If you're not going through them, and
making it safe.
Exactly, and then also stop letting these kids get these video games and they can play online. First of all, they shouldn't be able to play online with Fortnite. They shouldn't even be playing what is it? What is Grand Theft Auto? They shouldn't be. We had to sneak and play Grand Theft Auto, but we couldn't play online.
No,
there wasn't no grown.
I don't even know how to.
Exactly, there wasn't no grown ass man on the other line talking to me.
Right,
it just wasn't happening.
Yeah,
but there's too much. And you can't protect your child from everything. They're gonna learn something sooner or later.
Right,
it's gonna happen. But at what point do we say we need to get them off of this? No, you cannot have a Facebook. Or if you, when I got my first Facebook page, I think I was in the 5th or 6th grade. My mama made it. She was hovering over what I was doing. What's on there? Let's see what's going on there.
Yes, no, for real. It's time to start taking the phones.
It's time to it's time to start monitoring what they're doing, what they're looking at, because nowadays kids can, and like I said, we've kind of moved to a different topic.
This has moved away from the whole thing. We
are in no way saying this about the young man who is dealing with this.
Correct.
We're not saying this.
Correct.
We have moved on.
Right.
So we moving on.
Don't clip me.
Okay.
Don't clip me.
Okay, we moving on.
Right.
But honestly, kids can come from wonderful homes. They can come from a 2-parent household, or they can come from a single-parent household where the parent is really raising them correctly,
right?
To be upstanding members of society. But if you are seeing stuff online that this person is doing this and he got all this money, and you know what I'm saying, while I'm here struggling and my mama working 3 jobs, then I want to go do what they doing. So now I'm about to start doing it young. You don't understand how many people that I know literally have had wonderful parents, wonderful childhoods, and they have turned, you know what I'm saying? Their lives have taken
a mess,
180s in the complete wrong direction, because they are chasing something that they don't have to chase. But it's because of what they're seeing online, because of what what they're hearing, what they're watching other people do. So them phones,
snatch them up. My mama used to take my phone at the end of every week. When I was in middle school, when I was in high school, and random times too, especially when I got older. She's like, "Yeah, go ahead and bring that phone up here."
Okay. All right.
Delete. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's time. We've moved on from another topic, but it's just, I just don't remember us being that crazy. I keep saying that because I'm just so astonished, but I just don't remember it being like that.
No.
I really don't.
No.
It's that new generation.
Something in the water.
And they're charging him with first-degree murder. Yes, going back to the issue in Texas with the kids. Yes, first-degree murder. Because at first, of course, when we had little to no information, I'm like, well, he did stab a kid and he died. So, right. That's what you would think initially. But now that all this other information's coming out, and because he was, self-defense and all this stuff, I'm just like, I couldn't bring myself to stab somebody, though. I mean, then again, well,
you never know.
That's me, though. That's me.
Right. And I can't say
But once again, you never know. Fight or fight.
Yeah, I don't know where. It depends on the situation I am.
Yeah.
If it comes down to it, whether you going home or I'm going home, baby, let me tell you something. It's going to be me. I'm going to the crib with it.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Yeah. Yeah, and this kid, like, he wasn't a part of any gangs, or like he doesn't have no record or anything. At least I'm I'm sure at the time of this recording. Right. Now, if other stuff pops up, then
we'll have to update y'all.
Right. But yeah, at the time of this recording on April the 11th,
okay,
on a Friday.
All right.
Yeah, we haven't heard any record, any previous nothing. Like he seems to be just like an average kid.
Yeah.
That just you have to get somebody. But yeah, oh my god, it's just so crazy. I couldn't
and I really hate that for somebody. And I really hate that for his family.
Yeah, he didn't want to go in there and kill somebody, but he had to do what he had to do.
He had to do what he had to do.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that is just so upsetting, and it's just so sad because we hear stuff like this all the time now, and it's at a point where it's just like, well, damn, every day. Even not even with like this stuff, like with or like school shootings and stuff like that too. Just with like politics and stuff, it's always a headline.
It's always something.
It's always a headline. And that's why I think, was it this bad when we were teenagers? I really don't think so. Or we were probably just oblivious to it because we were young, wild, and free. Right. We wasn't worried about nothing besides passing that Spanish test.
Okay. Now we got bigger.
Yeah. Oof. We got bigger fish to fry. But yeah, that is so sad. That is so sad. Another topic that I had on here real quick, which I thought was very, very funny. I didn't do any research on it, so I didn't want to put it on there.
Right.
But moving on once again. This kid made a whole diss track about, was it like another student? Or
I think so.
He made a diss track about another student. Of course, y'all know what a diss track is. They're highly inappropriate.
Right.
Had a couple threats in there, a bomb threat or something, I believe. And I think he was promptly arrested.
Yes. Because baby, what are you talking about? A bomb?
I remember diss tracks being like a thing in like YouTube culture, like when all the popular YouTubers was like making diss tracks, like the Rice Gum, the Little Tay era, the Bad Baby era. So I was just like, a diss track on one of your classmates? Like, I was like, is this like a influencer dude? Or does he make music? Is he an artist?
No, he just dissing.
Now you look silly. You could have just said all that to his face.
Okay.
Well, maybe not.
Well, not the bomb threat. Maybe.
I'm about to submit a bomb threat.
Like, what are we talking about?
But I thought that was kind of interesting. Because now you look goofy.
Right. Maybe you had to know you was going to jail.
Right. Because ain't no way, babe.
And that's why we say take them phones.
Yes. Take the phone. These have got to go. Take the phones.
Got to go.
Take the phones. And take Zeus. I blame Queen Naija.
So our next topic.
Oh my gosh, drink of the week.
Oh, drink of the week.
Oh my god, it's the same drink that we was drinking last week, y'all. But now Zaria has one. The Vista Bay.
What is it called?
Vista Bay watermelon lemonade.
Oh, where we at with it? Rar.
She has one today. It's my last two in my mini fridge. I was like, let's just do it today. Period. Yeah. Let's move on. So this is Zaria's topic. So take it away.
All right.
Once again, I know the bare minimum.
Y'all, okay, so listen. If you are a Real Housewives fan, namely Real Housewives of Atlanta, from childhood, I have been an avid watcher. Now, when Miss Nene Leakes left, I unfortunately did too. But
how long was this ago? Just for me to kind of like get some context too.
How long has Nene Leakes been off of the show? I want to say it's been a good 5.
Okay.
Seasons. 5 to 6 seasons.
Okay, and I'm assuming it's like a season every year. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this year.
Oh, that was her nail, y'all. Sorry for the audio people. That
my bad.
Her nail caressed the mic a little bit.
For the people who watched the show, or for the people who did not watch the show, there was a clip going around, or news going around. Not a clip. There was news going around that Kenya Moore, who has been one of the most influential housewives.
Yes. I've heard that name.
Yes. since she started on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think she came in on season 5. I have never been a fan of Miss Kenya Moore because I think she's a mean girl. She does a lot of poking the bear, and then she likes to play victim when somebody decides to get on up in that ass. But that's just me. And I know I'm not the only one. So if you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta and you hate Kenya too, raise your hand.
Okay.
Me.
Everybody in the studio just raised their hands.
So there was news going around in blogs and stuff saying that she had been fired from the show.
Okay.
She, in the middle of the season, she was not they were not filming with her anymore.
Oh.
Because she had done some revenge corn. Right.
Oh, yeah,
She
that's against
had
the law, baby girl.
Yeah, so she had done some revenge porn. Upon getting more information,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't technically revenge porn because it
You can
wasn't.
say porn.
No.
No, but like you can. I mean, you can now. Y'all won't be able to hear that part on
Oh, okay.
YouTube, but
So
on
she was doing revenge.
on Apple and Spotify, we are ranked explicit.
Okay,
So
period. So
we can swear and say stuff like
she
that
was
on
doing the
here. Yeah.
porn. And
I'm sorry, y'all. My mic just fell off of my stand. I'm sorry for the silence. We are in the studio cracking up.
Ooh, okay, for real. Let's get serious. But it wasn't technically that because the girl who she had allegedly done this on, it was actually like you could go and look it up on whatever site you watch your stuff on and find the
Okay.
video. Like she actively participated in a video.
Okay, I missed it. So Kenya she did the porn, or
It was like
she was sharing.
She was sharing. Okay, we're gonna get into that.
Okay, gotcha,
She was
gotcha.
sharing pictures of this lady doing acts, and
Which is already on a public website.
Yes,
Okay.
because she was a star.
Okay.
So at first people thought that Kenya was going to jail. Somebody was pressing charges, this, that, and the third. But
Sorry, y'all. My bad. My dad's calling me.
Oh.
Okay, y'all. Sorry about that interruption. My dad called. And my microphone is now fixed, so no more fidgeting with the mic.
Okay, so we good. But yeah, so everybody thought, Kenya going to jail. But no, that's not. She can't technically go to jail because she didn't do anything illegal. She did something very, very, very distasteful, though. So I'm gonna get into it. I have not actually thoroughly watched a full episode of Real Housewives since Nene Leakes has left because it's just not that entertaining anymore.
Right.
But there's a young lady on the show. Her name is Britt. Apparently, her and Kenya have had some issues in the episode beforehand. So the episode before the last one they released, they were at dinner having a conversation, and Kenya had said something. Kenya really didn't do anything bad.
Mm-hmm.
The Brit girl just wouldn't let her just be. She kept messing with her. She kept antagonizing her. And so they got up. They left. Kenya left. The whole dinner was like, all right, we're leaving.
Yeah, it's over with. Yeah, okay.
So as Kenya's walking away, Britt is talking to her friend, and she's like, because I have a pew-pew, basically. She's talking about she has a gun and this and that and the third. Mind you, she wasn't talking to Kenya. Was she doing too much? Absolutely.
Right.
She wasn't talking to Kenya, though. So the next episode, they kind of go through how, Britt, you were doing a lot. You were doing too much.
Yeah.
Britt was like, I never want her to feel like I'm threatening her. I really want to apologize to her. Genuinely, apologetic about it.
Yeah.
So this whole episode is about Kenya opening up her salon that she had spent years. She spent $400,000, basically her daughter's trust fund on.
Wow.
To open and start.
Yeah.
So they're all, the whole cast, and of course other big people in Atlanta,
right,
are
all cast event,
are at her opening. So Britt comes, she brings a card and flowers, and she's trying to talk to Kenya, like, hey, I really want to apologize, but Kenya is paying her dust. She's not saying anything to her. She's not, which you don't have to. Speak to her.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I get that.
This is what I want to say about Kenya Moore. Before I go into my opinions before I go into what happened, and my opinions about it. If you have watched the show, one thing Kenya don't play about is having security, escorting people out, making people leave stuff. She does that all the time. She's done it all the time on the show.
Okay.
She didn't do that to Britt. She just didn't.
At the opening of her salon. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
She just didn't pay her any attention. So what did Britt do? She's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. Congratulations, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, fair.
So she starts walking out. Then King is like, can I have everyone's attention, please? Can I have everyone's attention, please? So I'm like, okay, sure. So she starts talking. At first, she starts talking about her salon. Then she goes into, people trying to bring her down and this, that, and the third. And she was like, I'm that bitch, been that bitch, did that bitch, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And there was a woman who came for me and I paid her dust and she doesn't mean anything. Mind you, this is at the opening of her salon. Something that has nothing to do with drama.
Yeah.
This is a professional event for you, something that you have worked on for years. And you make it about somebody else. So then she was like, so who is this hoe?
Oh my gosh.
So then the first picture it's a big blown out picture of the girl. It's blurred out. You can't, but they are kind of describing it. So
it's blurred out for TV, or okay.
It's blurred out for TV,
right?
But she's still you know what it is because she's saying what it is,
right? Okay, gotcha.
So it's the girl before she had plastic surgery.
Okay.
Like multiple pictures of her before plastic surgery, then after. Like this is who she is. So then everybody's like, the cast, they're doing their confessionals. Like, where's this going? Like, what are we doing?
Oh my god.
We have taken a little bit of a turn. What's happening?
Yeah.
So then a second picture. I guess the girl used to be a video vixen.
Okay.
And so she was like, she's a hoe, da 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 da. Yes. And so the girl's friend was with her, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm not doing this." So she left, and Britt is still standing outside. She's like, "Girl, we out of here. Like, we done." She was like, "What happened?" She said, "I'm not gonna let her disrespect you." And so they leave.
Okay.
So everybody's still like,
okay, right? Where are we going with this? Next? Yeah.
So then she pulls out the final picture. And it's of this girl performing fellatio on a man. And everybody's like, oh, no.
Oh, my God.
So then,
maybe I should get into the Housewives franchise. Okay? Maybe it's about that time.
So then there's like a disclaimer because of, how lewd this is. We will not be showing this. We will not be filming with Kenya anymore after this. Like,
okay.
So, everybody is like, so then the cast, they start leaving. They're like, nope.
Yeah, don't want to be a part of that.
Don't want to be a part of that. That's not what we.
That is crazy.
So, Cynthia Bailey, who is, she is a model, and she has also been a part of the Housewives franchise for a very long time. Okay. She's been on Real Housewives of Atlanta for a very long time.
Name sounds familiar. Yeah.
Cynthia's always allowed Kenya to get away with BS. Mm-hmm. She's always straddled the fence when Kenya has done something egregious and terrible. Mm-hmm. She's always been a little flippy floppy. But what I will say is, when this particular thing happened, because Cynthia wasn't at the dinner, but she was like, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go. She was like, I wasn't there. I'm getting to know Britt, but I know you. And she's like, and I hate that you allowed this to end this way. Yeah, you're bigger than this. Mm-hmm. You worked hard. She's basically saying you shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, messed up. Mm-hmm. Way better than that.
And so Kenya was like, what? Kenya's always trying to make an excuse for the thing. Okay. Well, she disrespected. She did and Cynthia was like, okay, well, I love you. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Like, she's like, no.
Yeah, no.
I'm actually out.
Yeah, not coming to the pity party. I'm sorry.
And so Portia is outside. She's like, I want y'all to get that camera off of me. I actually want y'all to take my mic off because y'all could just pretend like I was never here.
Oh my! Oh, it was that bad.
Yeah, it was horrible.
That's crazy.
My opinion on this is, and I've seen lots of takes and stuff.
Okay.
And I've seen a lot of people like in the comments of because they posted clips online. I've seen a lot of people in the comments. Well, why was Britt allowed to threaten her with a gun, and nothing happened to her? She wasn't threatened with a gun.
Okay.
I just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if you watch the clip, that girl did not threaten her with a gun.
Right. They probably spliced it up or chopped it up to probably make it seem like that just for TV and dramatic effect.
And it's like, she wasn't even talking to Kenya.
Yeah.
To be perfectly clear. She wasn't talking to Kenya. Mm-hmm. Number one. Number two, we have seen how Kenya reacts when, and this for, people who
watch this, right? Yeah,
we have seen how Kenya reacts when she doesn't feel safe, when she feels like she's in danger, she's threatened. Security, I don't want to film with this person. I'm not going to be in this person's space. This person cannot come here. Britt wouldn't even been allowed to walk through the door of the salon
Mm-hmm.
if Kenya really felt threatened. Unfortunately, this was a tit for tat situation, and Kenya screwed herself because you use your event, your big aha moment,
Right.
to
Mm-hmm.
do
Mm-hmm.
something as distasteful as that. And the thing is once you saw, because she, as soon as the girl said she was leaving, that's when Kenya was like, "Can I get your attention?" So you wanted her to be there for you to do that.
Ah, gotcha.
You wanted
Okay.
her to be there for you to do
Yeah,
that.
to like humiliate her. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
My thing is, when you saw her leaving, why didn't you just say, "I'm not gonna do this"? Why did you even think to do that in the first place? Like, you screwed yourself.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
screwed yourself.
Yeah. Was that your final thought?
You know,
Sorry.
keep
Okay,
going.
okay. Y'all know me. I watch a lot of reality TV, but this is one franchise that I haven't dipped my toes into yet. But sounds kind of juicy. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that all this stuff is right, but it makes great TV.
Yeah.
Uh, but take a shot, y'all. With TV, especially like with shows like that, where it's like we meet up, we film a scene, we go home. We meet up, we film a scene, we go home. You know, there is this kind of how do you say, like, what's the word I'm looking for? This sense of having to like bring it,
Yeah.
having to do the even if it's not in their character off camera.
Yeah.
I feel like this happens a lot when it comes to the Housewives, when it comes to shows like that,
Yeah.
because they want to do the most outlandish thing. They want to do the most explosive thing,
Right.
because that's when you do that, of course, that's going to bring more ratings, more views to the show. That keeps you employed. That keeps the
Mhm.
checks coming. Because if production's like, oh my God, that was amazing. We need
Right.
her. We obviously need her for the
Right.
next season. But when you go that far, expecting to be like, oh yeah, this is going to secure my spot for the next season. This is what people want to see. This is what production wants. Now you're out of a job.
Now you're out of a job, babe.
And that's the where you're saying like, yeah, you screwed yourself, because you went in there wanting once again to do the most,
Right.
to have the most explosive moment of the season,
Right.
and you did the opposite. So now you did all that and didn't get what you wanted. And I thought that happens a lot
Yeah.
in TV,
Yeah.
because they feel like they have to like overexert their personality. Because the thing is, like with reality TV, here we go with our rabbit hole. Well, my rabbit hole, really.
Right.
With reality TV, it's kind of like they're kind of playing like caricatures
Of
of
themselves.
themselves. Like when they have these conversations or the auditions for these shows, whatever, a little bit of what they're showing on the show is them.
Mhm.
Like that's their person, because they wouldn't have got booked on the show in the
Right.
first place. So now that they have the show and they have this outlet, they act more of themselves. If that makes any sense, like they act more, they do the
They
most
do more. Yeah.
to get booked and to stay employed, to keep the checks flowing.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's such a sticky situation, because I get it.
Right.
I am on a show myself in my
Right.
head.
Right.
But no, that is crazy. That I would, oh my God,
Yeah.
I would never think. But then again, when you're on TV, and you also know there's a little bit of puppeteering
Mhm.
happening behind the scenes. I'm sure, because we all know these shows are just a
Right.
little, you know what I'm saying, a
Right.
little bit on the scripted side than other shows. But yeah, but you can't go on.
Exactly.
You can't go on TV and say that, or if you say it while you're filming, oh, this was all production set. They're not gonna air that.
Yep.
And two, producers and story producers are never going to admit to it,
Right.
even though we all know what's happening behind it. There's a little bit of puppeteering going
Right.
on, but I would never.
Nope.
I would never allow myself if a producer sat me down, was like, Lamont, I need you to go in there. I'd be like, are you kidding
I'm
me?
not gonna do that.
Are you joking?
Right. Now this is what I will
like
say.
beside myself.
This is what I
filled
will
with fear.
say. With her, she doesn't have that. That producers did. Now, in a lot of like the Bravo shows,
Yeah.
producers work a little bit differently than like on BGC or something like that.
Right, right.
They work a little bit. Yes, they do things.
Mhm.
Yes, they do things.
Yeah, but it's just in a different way.
Like,
Yeah.
producers will feed information to somebody so they could say it.
Yep.
That's what they will do on the Housewives and on Bravo Friends.
Yep.
They will be like, hey, so this person, da 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 da.
Mhm.
You gotta be the one to say it.
Right, right. Or it'll be like, oh well, this is what's going on.
Yep.
So when
Yep.
you should talk to her
You
about
should
that next
ask
time
her
you see
exactly.
her.
In Kenya's situation, nobody knew anything.
Really?
Yes.
So this was like, so when she revealed all that, this was a shock to everybody. So nobody knew this girl used
she
to.
didn't run this by nobody. With her.
No, I'm saying like, so with is her name Britt? You said nobody knew that she was like a vixen or
Now,
like
I'm
did
not
stuff
sure
like
about
that.
that.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
Because I'm just like, if you're on a TV show,
Right.
like,
and there's
I feel like people already know, but to do that at your event is crazy work.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody knew that Kenya was
gonna do that, right? Because why would you tell?
And,
right.
Like, you know how producers will set up a scene, like, no, this is like, no, this was her. This was her.
Interesting.
Scene. So Cynthia, like I said, her and Cynthia are really good friends, and she was on. Everybody knows that Andy has a show called Watch What Happens Live.
Yep.
And she was on there, and she said she hadn't talked to Kenya in a while, and she had said that she really wishes that Kenya would have called her or told her, so
like her plan before she went in there.
Could tell her,
absolutely
not.
Do that. Yeah.
Do not do this.
Yeah.
She didn't give it, she did it because she didn't want anyone to stop her.
Yeah, of course.
She didn't want anybody to stop her.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for me, if I don't think what I'm doing is wrong, I will run it by somebody. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I don't have to be secretive if I think I'm doing the right thing.
Yep.
But if I know for a fact that this is messed up and this is really, really bad, I don't want a soul to know what I've done. You know what I'm saying? So she was very secretive because she knew what she was doing. She knew that the punishment did not fit the crime for what that girl did. Yes, she was doing the most. We can all acknowledge that she was doing way too much.
Yeah.
But if you would have played your cards right and really said, I don't feel safe, I'm not filming with her, I refuse to be in any scenes with her, either she goes or me, who's been on this show for 10 plus years, I go, who's been giving y'all ratings, either one of us got to go. They would have got her out of there so freaking fast.
Yeah.
But once you
crazy.
do that,
they can't. Yeah. Mm-mm.
And that's what someone was saying. Like, a lot of times, you know, because they were saying, oh, well, why does this person get to come back, and why does this person get to do this? And someone had broke it down so perfectly. Jamila, love me some Jamila, but has said that one thing you have to understand about reality shows is a lot of times, or sometimes, if somebody gets kicked off, it has nothing to do with the act. It may have something to do with how other people react to the act. So if the majority of the cast was like, she gotta go.
Yeah, not filming. Yeah.
I'm not filming with her. And if Britt has a good relationship with the producers and was like, I'm so humiliated. Like, why would she do that?
Right.
Regardless of if the point was public. It was years ago. So nobody was just going.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Kenya hired somebody to find stuff on her.
Oh, yeah. That's doing too much.
So you got somebody to go get all. You went searching and seeking, and they found the dirtiest thing about this girl. And you decided to display it to the rest of the world. I'm sure that's something that she, yes, it's a part of her story, but I'm sure that's something that she didn't want nobody to be airing out right here. No matter if it's online or not, no matter if somebody could go find it, you would have to know what you're looking for.
That is so wild. That's crazy.
To me, that's distasteful. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
And honestly, if that girl would have been there, it would have ended in a fight.
Yeah, and you have to also think this is like a business event too. Now, all these like events that these shows have, they're mainly just for the show,
right?
To promote their businesses and their ventures, stuff like that. But still, like, you could have done that. I mean, if you want, not saying she should have done that, but if you wanted to, you don't want to do it in a room with a whole bunch of like legitimate like business people. Like,
you could have just done it to. You could have showed your friend, look, is she talking about me?
Send it to the group chat.
Right. This is what you could have, but instead you chose something, and then you wanted to, because she had mentioned in like the scene, like, this lady tried to take money out of my daughter's, or food out of my daughter's mouth. How? Don't know. But you quite literally just did that, and they kicked you off of the show.
Grimy. And I know she did that to do the diametrical opposite.
Yeah. You thought that you were
too far.
Yep, and now look at you, unemployed.
Yeah, well, not unemployed, just off the show.
Off the show.
Yeah. We all know these ladies are set for life,
right.
Especially with the housewives. Friend, I know Rob will be paying them their fat checks,
okay,
because they wouldn't come back if the money wasn't right. But that's crazy. I haven't heard any of this because I'm not really into like the whole like
Yeah.
Housewives franchise just yet. I'm getting there, but yeah. Oh my god, that's so grimy. Like to have to become like beside yourself to do something like whether if you were pressured or whatever
Right.
to do it or not. If that's your real character, that's even worse.
Right.
But man, that's crazy. No thought, empty head. Because like, what can you say to that?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness! I was watching this interview with Juliet Porter. She was on Siesta Key on MTV. She did a podcast episode with Heidi and Spencer from The Hills, also on MTV. Same producers, same production company, stuff like that. And she had mentioned that one of the hardest things about being on TV was sometimes having to put aside like your morals and like how you feel about certain stuff or how you would handle a certain situation off camera to make good TV.
Yeah.
And it just, these are the TV stars, man. It's it's getting y'all caught up. These productions and these fans and all these egos, it's getting y'all caught and y'all look silly.
Yeah.
It's bad, but it makes great TV though, and we still watching. So
Yeah.
man, that's crazy. Tell us what y'all think about that. That's why I don't know if that happened to me, like if I was Brit and I got exposed like that, oh my god.
Baby.
Oh my, and then having to like watch it on TV, I'd have to skip that whole episode.
I would be just now getting up off you.
I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, I can't. That's disgusting, really. But well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All right, I don't know what time we're at, but we're gonna move on to question of the week. We have a few answers for this one. We'll try to make it somewhat short because, like I said, I don't know what time we're at, and with having to chop out some stuff, this episode may be a little long. But
let's see. Let me get it together.
Yes, Zaria had the task of doing the question of the week now, so every week she's gonna be doing the question of the weeks now, and this week's question was actually very good.
Yes,
I do not remember it because, of course, I don't.
Right. So, the question of the week for this week is: what is one bad habit you're trying to get rid of?
Yes.
Excuse me, y'all. So for me, I said procrastinating.
Yes.
Procrastinating. One thing about me, I've been a procrastinator since the day I knew what procrastination was. Do you understand me? I'm putting it off. When's the due date?
Yeah.
All right. When are you gonna do this? When are you gonna? I'm not actually. I'm gonna wait.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Like, and I really wish that I wasn't like that, but yeah, I am, and I'm working on it. I'm trying my best to just get it done.
Yeah,
just get it
That's
done.
kind of what I put too, but I feel like it's more of just like doing stuff that I know I can do, and I know if I just set my mind to it and it's kind of like procrastinating, honestly. Just doing it, like whether it's something as small as just like finishing editing the episode, or making like a bigger life decision. Just do it. Figure everything else out later. Stop thinking so much. Just do it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I piggybacked on that.
Yeah. So okay. So then someone said choosing the wrong men.
No.
Been there. Done that.
How do you break that habit?
I think it really. Sometimes people choose the wrong person because they're just moving too quickly. You know what I'm saying?
That could be it. Yeah.
I think you just have to give that person time to really, some people can hide who they are for a very long time. It's going to start seeping out though, So, and then setting the boundary and sticking to the boundary. And I think you'll be better at finding someone for you.
Yeah. And maybe if this is a pattern, if you're going after the same type of guy or the same type of partner, maybe don't do that.
Maybe just don't do that.
Just stop.
Just stop, actually.
Maybe date different types of people. I don't know.
And really sit with yourself and say what, because I think a lot of people who also are dating the wrong type, they don't entirely know what they want in a partner.
Sit
true. Down with yourself. What do you want? What are you willing to accept? What are you not willing to accept? And if you find somebody that maybe has one quality, are you willing to work on that? You know what I'm saying? So start figuring out.
Yeah.
What is it that I want in a partner?
It also depends on like the red flags and stuff too. Like red flags come in every shade. So sometimes the red flags may look a little bit, yellow greenish, and then as time goes on, it's like that was a blatant. That's fire truck red.
It's red.
Yeah, and maybe it depends on like where you're meeting these people at. Are y'all meeting at the club? Are y'all meeting at a bar? Are y'all meeting at a restaurant? Like also that could play a factor into it too. And last point, I think in our generation, like since we are kind of like we're the adults now, like we're the young adults. A lot of people around us are living these lovely, perfect lives, getting married, having the kids, going on the trips, stuff like that. And yeah, kind of what you said, rushing into it, like wanting that happy ending without actually working for it.
Yep.
Yeah, and like getting to that happy ending naturally versus just like
rushing,
going into it. Yeah,
and not making someone. I've been definitely someone who has done this, not making someone prove it. No,
yeah,
baby, you got to prove it.
Yes, I posted a quote on my Instagram story the other day. True, pure love is worth waiting for.
Absolutely, it is. And it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Someone said doom scrolling. I don't know what that is.
So, what I understand doom scrolling is like just like on Twitter or on TikTok, just like scrolling, can't break the. I don't know, like
scrolling.
Yeah, like for too long, or like, I'm gonna just get on TikTok for like 15 minutes, and you just keep going
and now it's
and going. Yeah, at least that's what I.
Let's look it up.
Let's Google it. That's what I mean. 'Cause I'm just trying to use my context clues here. Doom scrolling, meaning yes, doom scrolling is when you compulsively consume negative news or content online. That makes a little more sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's hard these days
because it's always there.
It's everywhere. That is no. Now that I know the actual context of doom scrolling, yes. Sometimes I will find myself going down those rabbit holes too. It like I said, it's tough because that's all that's really going on. And
now I'm mad.
I ain't had a good day since I was 14. Okay. Please. My advice with that, sometimes you gotta just put the phone down.
Just put it down, baby.
Sometimes you gotta put the phone. I know it's tough. Sometimes if I need to like lock in and get some stuff done, I put my phone under my mattress. I do. I just throw it under there because it's gonna be awful to try to get from under my mattress.
And now I gotta get
and it's gonna exert too much energy, and I'm just like, nah, let me get this done.
Let me just
you know what I'm saying? So that'd be my advice. Sometimes you just gotta just
put it down.
Put the phone down.
Just put it down.
Or like with after the election and stuff happened, because I was doing a lot of doom scrolling too. And I think what helped me out was just sitting with myself once again and being like, you know what, this world can be kind of awful, and there's a lot of awful people around me, and there's a lot of awful things happening around me, but I can only be in control of my own emotions and how I react to the stuff happening outside of my little bubble. So I try to make my mind a good, happy place because I'm in here all day, all the time,
24/7.
So, or try to fill your head with better content. Those baby sensory videos with the blueberries when they be jumping around, I love watching those. It seems silly and childish, but it really do be helping.
It helps.
So that's my advice.
What he said. Okay, and then someone said limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs. What was the question again? Can you repeat the question?
What?
Oh, the bad habits, right? The limiting beliefs. I want to say this is maybe because I know who put this in here.
I know who. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to you, babe. I want maybe like limiting your potential is what I'm getting at. Like maybe not living up to your full potential, or like limiting, like, I don't know, believing in yourself. Maybe like a self-confidence type thing, or like thinking that.
I meant to message this person.
Yes.
Like, hey babe, what do you think about that?
Well, I think at least, he can comment or text me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm getting from that. Like making it seem like you can't do something or you can't achieve something for like maybe like who you are or where you come from or your background or something like that. Because I can't see anything else. But that's a tough habit, because I find myself doing that sometimes too.
That's not for me, and it's like, and other people are like, what do you mean? Like,
you need to do this. Just do it. Okay, Nike.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, just do it. I always say, do it scared, do it anxious, do it sad, do it happy. That's what I told myself when I was getting out of bed yesterday, because I'm on like a good workout streak, as y'all know. I told myself, I was like, I do not have it in me to get up. I'm not this kind of workout everyday person, but I need to be. So I told myself, I was like, no, get up.
Get up.
I know you're tired. Go, just get up, get there, and do it tired.
Yeah, do it tired.
Do it tired.
because the results.
They're kind of resulting, just a tad.
Yeah. So,
But that's what anything in life. Just do it and see what happens. Worry about everything else later. Just do it.
And if you fail, do something else. If you fail, try again. Failure is something that is unfortunately inevitable.
Correct.
You're gonna fail, but you'll never know if you're gonna succeed if you just don't do anything.
Yeah, you never know how good something may be until you try.
Yeah.
So just do it.
Do it.
And then if it's not for you, or like Zaria said, if you fail or anything, readjust, try again. If it's not for you, see what is for you.
Yeah.
To know who you are, you have a lot of potential.
A lot.
Take over the world. It's your world, babe. We're just here living in it.
We're just here living in it, baby. So yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Period. Well, that was a good one.
Yeah.
We'll see what Zaria comes up with next week. Yeah, that was a really good one. Anything else we have to discuss? I don't know how long we've been talking, y'all, because this new computer, I got to figure out the settings on this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm looking at right here.
But no, I don't have anything.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, y'all. Loved having y'all at the cookout. It got a little hot and toasty, even though we're shivering in the studio.
Okay, it's freezing. For real.
And yeah, we'll see you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.